Happy August 1st, guys! Kamarkada, August 1 na, tapos ng July. So, before natin makita ulit si Taylor Swift for the whole month dahil August, enjoy muna sa Good Time To dahil ngayong August 1, kasama nyo ang Good Time To. Live na po tayo, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Nag-sink in ba, Maki? Bakit
Hindi ko gets ko bakit napasok si Taylor Swift.
Kasi yung August yung kanta niya. August, di ba? So, air, sabi nga. Okay, ayun na tayo mga kaworkada. Dahil August na nga, eto na Good Time To. At ini sa Good Time To, special ang ating mga kasama ngayon dahil kami ni Maki may mga kausap tayo very talented guy na mga kaworkada. Abangan siya with his EP, with his single. Pag-uusapan natin yan ng Alone in Melbourne dahil dito sa Good Time To, Filipino-Korean singer-songwriter Joshua Kim. At mamaya-maya makakausap natin siya sa Good Time To. So, Maki, ayan, di na naman tayo nag-usap pero naka-black tayo. Good morning.
Kasi yun nga mga kamarkada, ngayong araw na to, ngayong Thursday, hindi kayo magiging alone for today's video kasi kasama niyo si Bong, si Maki, at si Joshua for today's video. Kaya sa ating mga kamarkadas, mapaluzon, Visayas, Mindanao, Manila, or the whole world ka man, may kamarkada kasimahan natin sa Luzon.
Naipagkabigat ka na kaya aming mga kamarkada, mga nanonood po sa ating Facebook pages ng Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, at MOREntertainment YouTube channel. Eto si Bong Bastic, nandito sa Baguio, at mula Luzon, diretso na tayo dyan sa Visayas. Kung nasaan si Maki ko, nasa Tacloban naman right now.
Oo, sa itong mga kauban ng mga Bisaya, mga waray-waray, uguli ganun nga gapananaw sa itong show karon nga adlaw. Daghang salamat sa inyong katanan mga kamarkada, and hopefully yun nga mag-enjoy kayo kasi trip to Baguio, trip to Tacloban, and trip to Melbourne tayo for today's video mga kamarkada.
Nagtag mo na rin QC. Kasi nasa QC ating mga kasama rin right now.
Just reminisce our moments being alone in Melbourne mga kamarkada. Pero maraming salamat Sir Aljon Cruz, kay Ea Sirot, maraming salamat. Happy Fiesta sa Atimonan, Quezon Province. Ayan. Kay Rico Espinosa Abante. Magpapakain to si Rico Espinosa very soon. Ayan. Hi kay James Vergara sa Fruit Salad Gang. Okay, kay Carlo America, Emerita Figueras, J. Luis Infante, Miss Margie Marge, and maraming salamat of course, always forever, Miss Charo Dones, si Ruby Descalsota, Miss Ruby, maraming salamat sa Kapamilya Channel Facebook groups, Kapamilya Nation, ayan. Maraming salamat po kay Rowena Nazaro din, Joyce Mamaril, Mary Jane Ronda ng MR Philippines, My Only Radio for Life, Sedano Nonoy, Ryan Nite, Sybil Renomeron, Bianca Nicole Rodriguez, we love you. Ayan, William Tabuhara ng Kapamilya Channel Facebook groups natin. Thank you so much po for joining us.
Ayan. Ito rin sa mga nag-heart. Maraming salamat kay Joyce Magina, Espenil Agos-Hos, Lolita, Hyacinth, Faith Casa de Guzman, syempre kina Aljon Cruz. At ito na makakauso natin sa Good Time To. Ready ka na bang maging alone, Maki?
Parang pinapatamaan talaga ako ng mga kanta ng mga natin for today's video. Kaya pupunta na natin siya mga kamarkada sa backstage kasi nasa backstage siya alone. Ayan, pa hindi siya maging alone kamarkada. We'll be talking about his latest single and EP. Aba, enjoy tayo today. We have Joshua Kim. Dito lang yan sa Good Time To.
Good Time To! Ayan mga kamarkada, di kayo mag-iisa ngayong araw, ngayong unang araw ng August dahil kasama natin we have Filipino-Korean singer-songwriter with his latest single and EP Alone in Melbourne. We have Joshua Kim sa Good Time To. Joshua, good morning!
Good morning guys, thanks so much for having me, Maki, Bong. Yeah, tama kayo, I was alone backstage. Sorry, baka yan yung maging theme ngayon, maging alone. Baka downer masyado, pero you know, it is what it is.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for joining us this morning. So, kamusta muna umaga mo dyan sa QC? How is it right now? August 1 na. So, kamusta muna umaga mo today?
Oh, I'm very excited. Actually, birthday month ko this month, so you know, I have a lot to look forward to. Pero you know, to be honest, guys, hindi ako morning person. Actually, like I'm like a bat. I'm awake at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Pero you know, to be here, I was really excited to wake up early just for once.
Wala na ba ata taga-UP na morning person kasi parang ang dami nating ginagawa sa gabi mga kabarkada, mga task and everything. Pero kailan may birthday mo, Joshua?
Birthday ko near the end of the month, August 27.
Ay, oh, in
Oh,
fairness,
August 27, tama ba?
makasunod tayo ng birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, when's your
Oo, oo,
birthday?
oo. In fairness, we're vibing for today's week. Hindi ka alone ngayong August, at least.
Birth month lang, you are not alone. But
Oo.
thank you, Joshua. It's nice to see you here. And thank you rin for taking the time for being
Of course.
morning person for our show today. For good time to. And
Oo.
of course, you're one of the artists to watch out for. Lalo na ngayong 2024. So, can you tell us more about yourself and your music? Kasi I'm sure mas gusto ko makilala ng ating mga kamorkaras watching. So, go ahead, Joshua.
Okay. So my name is Joshua, as mentioned before, and I like to write music about stuff from the heart, stuff that's more introspective. I like to write about personal experiences, day to day things. Actually, yung last EP ko, wala masyadong love songs, heartbreak songs. It's more of just yung relatable day to day things. Feeling alone, baka for some people, feeling inadequate, feeling self doubt. And the songs I write, I want to be able to uplift those people who are feeling, those self doubts. Especially at this age, I'm coming into my quarter life crisis. So malapit na
Oh,
ako mag
okay.
25.
Mm-hmm.
Fully formed the frontal lobe, and with that, syempre, comes a lot of insecurity, comes a lot of uncertainty, and I just want to help those people who are going through the same experience as me.
Hmm.
Yeah, yung quarter
Aba,
life. It's bringing back
namumroblema ka.
memories. Bakit
Ano
okay?
ba? Ano ba? Parang nagkakaroon ka na ng quarter life crisis. Kami na papunta na kami sa midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So,
Totoo, Joshua. Mabuti na kami dun eh. Oh, parang
Oo.
yung
Hindi
sinabi mo
naman.
ngayon, Joshua, parang naalala ko, there was a time na okay, kami, pero midlife na kami ngayon eh. So anyway,
Ganun
Joshua.
talaga alive, mga kamerkada. Pero
Yeah.
yun nga, pinapatamaan mo kami for today's video. Kasi yun
Di
nga,
ba
parang
kayo 20
alone.
years old? Mukha
Ay,
kayong
ganun
20
naman.
years old.
Uy, ano mo ba? Hindi na
Salamat sa
pinag-uusapan yan.
compliment ko.
Yeah, mga 20 years old talaga kami. And so, pinapatamaan mo kami sa kanta mo, Alone in Melbourne. Kasi yun nga, hindi pa namin naka-experience mapunta sa Melbourne, pero na-experience namin maging alone. So, kwentuhan mo naman kami about your single, The Alone in Melbourne, Joshua.
Oh, I'd love to. So, yeah, when I talked about Alone in Melbourne, I realized na syempre not everyone can relate to that, but I think a lot of people can relate to the feeling of being alone, especially in a right, if you come from the province and you come to Manila to study, or if you're like an OFW and people go to Hong Kong, go to Dubai, things like that. And it's just a reminder, I guess, that at least for me, the people in my life are always going to be the most important. Like, regardless of if I get a new job, if I if I get these new opportunities, the most important thing for me are my family, my friends. And kahit saan man ako, I'm always going to look for them and come back to them. So, if for anyone feeling homesick, I think the song is for you. Actually, funny thing, I realized I was singing Alone in Melbourne in the song, and I was talking to my coworkers, and everyone says Alone in Melbourne, like
Mm.
Melbourne somehow. And so now when I sing it, I say Alone in Melbourne, feeling Australian, diba?
Oh, may accent pa kamerkada. And what's even better kasi Joshua, kasi being alone is not only parang nafe-feel mo when you're outside of the country, but even in your own house. You
Yeah,
sometimes,
even in your safe environment, 'di ba, Maki?
kaya
Ganun.
nakaka-relate kami dito sa kwento mong ito at the story na Alone in Melbourne. So, ikaw naman personally, what lessons did you learn naman, Joshua, being alone in Melbourne when you were there? Kasi parang this is based on your actual experience, di ba?
Yes.
Paano ka umabot sa Melbourne in the first place?
Well, one thing I learned is clingy pala ako.
Ay,
That's
oh, ganon.
I did not realize, pero ganyan pala ako. And as a funny thing I learned in Melbourne, how to cook. So
Mm.
if you guys want the chop suey, or
Mm-hmm.
if you want some lamb chops or something, I now know because of Melbourne.
Okay,
Wow,
okay.
so Shalto, may palam chop sa chop suey, mga
Oh,
kabarkada,
pero
sa
anong
Yeah.
una mo
Philippines
natutunan
lang.
dong? What's the first food that you learned to cook when you were there?
Um, I don't know. The first thing I made, my friends will get mad at me. I'm saying this on the live, but I made fried rice, like a rice cooker fried rice. Pero ginamit ko bagong rice, and I didn't realize when you use new rice, it becomes super soggy and mushy. So
Aha,
Oo.
aha.
yun yung first meal ko.
Oh, oh, in
Oo.
fairness, sabi cooking tips tayo for today's video, mga
Yeah.
kabarkada. May paluto tayo. At least hindi kayo alone ngayon sa inyong breakfast, mga kabarkada. Pero we've been talking about alone in Melbourne, di ba? Para, paano ka umabot dun sa Melbourne in the first place, Joshua, to be inspired to write this song in the first
Yeah.
place?
Okay, so the backstory for that is I'm not actually a musician full time. I'm a software engineer. So I went to ComSci in UPD, and I was hired by an Australian company. So we do an AI search engine. So it's a lot of stuff to get into for that. So but just imagine it's
Ooh,
AI and
okay,
it's tech,
okay.
and they've been thinking of they syempre they want me to come see the office, come meet everyone, and I went for a month just to feel the work culture and everything. And yeah, no, when I was there, I felt that strong sense of longing for home and longing for the people that I left behind.
Oh, grabe ha. In fairness, pag AI na pinag-uusapan natin mga kabarkada and everything, bong,
Yeah.
lumalaban
And
tayo sa
at saka, di
technology.
ba, at least nalaman natin it was for work visit na pumunta doon si
Mm.
Joshua. But when you were there, Joshua, kasi di ba minsan nagkakaroon na tayo once we go to a different place, a foreign place, nagkakaroon tayo sepangs. Di ba?
Oh,
Siyempre,
Mm.
syempre.
doon natin na-realize yun eh. What lesson did you learn being alone in Melbourne where you were there for work?
Mm. I think I realized how important how important spending time with friends was for me. Actually, when I got there, I went out. I went out immediately. Tapos I met a new barkada, Filipinos rin. So
Mm.
Oh, okay.
so I guess we find each other talaga. Like I went out and I was like, oh, where do Asian people usually hang out dito sa Melbourne? I went out, tapos nagparty ako, and I found another group of Filipinos. So yeah, I don't think I could survive that trip without them.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
So shout out to them.
O, lumalaban tayo. Alam mo, Joshua, you're everywhere. Alam mo, ito tayo mga Pilipino, pati sa Antarctica, mauuna na nga
Oo
tayo
nga
sa
eh.
Mars, mga kamarkada sa Venus. Para lumalaban ang mga Pinoy dyan. Pero usually, marami tayong mga kamarkada sa nanonood ngayon, Joshua, not only here in the Philippines, but also in the other parts of the country, mga of the country, of the world, di ba? Marami tayong mga OFWs na nanonood ngayon. At parang feeling nila, minsan alone sila, di ba, sa mga different countries na where they are now. How did you deal and combat the feeling of loneliness when you were there sa Melbourne, in a foreign country, Joshua?
Well, one thing I do is I'd call with the people at home. Mga Discord
Mm.
calls, Facebook calls. You just
Aha.
keep updated with everyone. I mean, you have to. And I think during pandemic naman we had the same issue, right? We
Mm-mm.
couldn't we couldn't see each other. So, Discord calls were very, very helpful. Syempre, writing. I actually asked my coworker if I could borrow his guitar. So, just alone in my hotel room, just writing, and that's what I came up with. Parang ang drama ko talaga, no? I was there for
Hindi naman.
for a short amount of
Hindi
time,
naman.
tapos nagdadrama ako.
More
I
of
mean,
creative. Kasi di ba minsan mga artistic and creative, you do that eh. Mga, you daydream, you think of things, di ba? Marami kang, parang eksena lang sa pelikula, Joshua. Parang
oh,
Mm-mm.
gano'n.
yeah.
Diba,
And
ganun.
don't get me wrong, I felt very lucky and very blessed to be there.
Mm-mm.
It's just a moment of it's just writing how I feel. Like, I think if I had to do it again, I would do it again, of course, and
Mm-mm.
it's an amazing experience. But in that moment, I felt like a sad boy, looking out the
Mm-mm.
window, in my feelings, ganun. So,
At
why
saka,
not?
oo. Ang maganda dito sa Alone in Melbourne, Joshua, nare-realize natin na being alone is not always a negative thing, but it's also a
Not always,
positive
no.
thing for self-discovery, self-love, and syempre appreciation sa mga bagay na meron tayo, di ba? Yun naman talaga. So, any advice sa ating mga kamorkada sa Joshua na syempre nafe-feel nila alone sila ngayong araw na ito?
Yeah, I think being able to be alone with your thoughts is actually a blessing as much as it is a curse, and it's being able to make friends with yourself and without any outside noise is a huge thing. It'll improve your life a lot going forward. And yeah, and another thing is that even if you're not with the people that you love in person, there are people that care about you, that are watching over you from afar. And I'm sure if you need to reach out to them, you could reach out to them, and they would and they would respond to you. And it's just I guess just a matter of perspective, you know, of
Mhm.
realizing that everyone's going through their own journey and their own struggle, and somehow feel that you're never alone, even if physically you are, like you have your friends, or like we're all Filipinos, and same way that I found my people over there. You
Oo.
always, I feel like you can always find your people if you look in the right places.
It's nice to hear, di ba? Kasi minsan di natin realize, alam mo yun, kailangan natin mga ganitong mga realizations para maramdaman mo ulit na oo nga, di ba? May point naman yung sinabi ni Joshua. Pero ito na, let's talk about, going back more about Alone in Melbourne. Kasi nga dito, it's part of an EP. So it's also
Yeah.
the same title. Can you tell us more about your EP, Joshua, Alone in Melbourne? About the
Yeah.
whole process of
So
creating this.
yeah, so the process was very spontaneous. I think each song, it came to me one by one. But as I mentioned, Kanina, there's a big theme of uncertainty, insecurity, and I think it just came very naturally as I graduated through college, and I just wrote things down. So one song is called Breeze, and it's literally a song I wrote super fast, and it's just letting yourself take a break every once in a while. Parang feel the breeze, gonna sit outside, let it hit your face. No matter, you know, I think even if you're drowning in school requirements and work, parang
Mm-hmm.
you need those 5 minutes to just relax. And there are actually a lot of collabs on the EP as well. So I collabed with Des and Del, who is the they're twin sisters, and they're amazing artists, and they sang with me on Breeze Amihan, which is a version of Breeze with the blending of the vocals, and I think it sounds amazing. And also for the song Alone in Melbourne, I collabed with Eda Simafranca, and I just want to give a second to shout out to Eda. She was an amazing artist, and she's really someone I felt a lot of kinship with, and she felt a lot of similar things. I felt like, a feeling of loneliness, feeling of baka feeling like you're not enough. And unfortunately she passed away after recording the vocals for the song. But I was so glad to have met her, and I just want to remember her memory. So if you guys like jazz music or like really soulful music, try to look for Eda Simafranca as well.
So maganda yan na Joshua, kasi mamaya iimbitahan natin ating mga kabarkadas paano masuportahan itong Alone in Melbourne, lalo-lalo na the EP itself, Joshua, kasi marami ka mga kasama ng mga artist dito. Pero
Yes,
syempre, we have a
collaboration.
yeah, true. At syempre, meron tayong challenge for you today. Papahirapan ka muna namin for today's video, Char.
Oh no.
Oo, mas mahirap to sa iyong stay doon sa Melbourne. Kasi meron tayong Alone in Manila Challenge, mga kabarkada,
Oh
and
no.
Alone in the Philippines Challenge. Kasi nasa Pilipinas na tayo, so meron kaming challenge for you, Joshua. Meron kaming mga series of questions for you na nagbabaga at umaatikabo, na lalaban ang iyo, mapapalaban yung puso at isip. Kaya Joshua Kim, are you ready for our Alone in the Philippines Challenge?
Ready, very ready.
And speaking, Joshua, ha, napalaban ka rin sa photo na to, ha? So, you're quite in
Drama
fairness
ko,
naman,
no?
photogenic ka. Madrama ka rin sa photo na to, ha? So, what's the story behind this photo muna, Joshua, before we go to the challenge?
Wala, candid. Nakuha ng paparazzi.
Sana all.
Joke lang. Wala.
Sana ganyan kaganda pag nakakuha ng
Oo.
yung caught out of the moment. But
As
Pero,
if, hindi naman.
did you enjoy this process of taking it out during the shoot of this?
Yeah,
For
so the shoot was done by Andy Pavia and Mig Star, and we I think the funny part about this is it was shot in Makati. So dami kong pinagsasabi Alone in Melbourne, but it's actually in Makati. But it's
Oo.
it looks good.
Sounds
It
the
looks
same.
good.
Simula naman sila ng letter M. Pareho sila
Yeah,
Melbourne and
yeah.
Makati, mga kamarkada. Kaya kakalusot pa rin. At syempre, ito na ating unang challenge for you, Joshua. Ito.
Eto,
Lalaban
here we
na tayo.
go. Eto, speaking of alone, Joshua, what are the 3 activities you would like to do alone?
Oh,
3 activities
interesting.
lang muna tayo. Okay.
Okay. Um, One thing I think is writing actually. So I love writing collaboratively, but I also love writing alone. And I think the reason is I'm a perfectionist, and
Huh?
like the same line, like one line, you might see me write it for like hours and hours because I need it to be perfect. And yeah, and I think being alone like helps with that, helps me really get in my feelings, get in my thoughts. And yeah, yeah, and so that's one thing. What's another thing? Well, I'm clingy, so I like to do things with other people. Like
Mm.
even when it comes to working or watching, I do it with other people.
Mm.
Um, I guess
Cooking. Luto.
cooking.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, very therapeutic siya, cooking alone. Like with just TV on in the background.
Mhm.
And I tend to I still make a lot of mistakes, but still. Oh, one thing, lifting, exercising. Right, especially after a
Mm.
tough day, like if I'm feeling frustrated, angry, I just want to let it all out. I just want to lift and scream.
Oh,
You
dami
know.
natin nag-discover kay Joshua today, mga kabarkada, ha. Ang maganda rin yung pagiging perfectionist mo kasi nakikita ang pagiging programmer mo kasi lahat ng lines dapat sa programming perfect eh. Kasi hindi ba, hindi
Mm.
aabot yun sa last line kung
Oh
hindi
yeah.
perfect. Oh. So sana, Joshua, hindi ka na magiging alone for today's video, ha? Kasi yun nga, nandito ating pangalawa na challenge for you sa ating Alone in the
Okay,
Philippines Challenge. Let's go!
here we
Eto,
go. Ito na.
fictional character you would like to be with para hindi ka na
Oh.
magiging alone. Oh, any
Actually, meron na
fictional...
tayong little preview, Josh, kung di ako nagkakamali sa mga sagot mo. Kasi a little in your background, nakikita namin, you have some
Si
Oh,
snuggles.
Pikachu.
Yeah,
like
Pikachu ka na nga
Pikachu.
dyan eh. Yeah.
It's
Oh, ayan.
adorable.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
sino nga
oh,
ba? Fictional characters.
Oh, there's so many. I feel like okay, recency bias lang. I just watched Deadpool 3. I don't know if you
ah.
guys watched it.
Okay,
Pero
okay.
feel ko baka masaya kasama si Deadpool. Kasi
Oh.
and I'm very talkative. Like I could talk for hours and hours. So baka we would get along.
Mm.
Baka the
Mm.
ADHD would all line up.
So you're an extrovert at heart, Joshua, or an introvert?
I'd like to say I'm an extrovert. I love
Mm-mm.
talking. I love being with people. But syempre, I have those
Mm-mm.
moments of like I just want to be by myself. Like just
Mm-mm.
when I'm not in the mood. Pero yeah, usually I'd say extrovert.
Kasi sinabi mo clingy ka eh. Paano ba itong clingy na ito? Gusto namin malaman. Wow.
Yeah.
Paano,
How
paano mo
how is Joshua clingy pagdating sa mga
Oo.
kaibigan or ganyan? Paano ba?
Mm-mm.
Paano kang
Well,
as
message sa group chats. Oh, anyone free today? Anyone free? And then like
Oh,
Ah.
yeah,
okay.
I'm
Okay.
work from home kasi so as much as
Ah.
possible I like to be around people. So I'm like, oh, is anyone working at Katip? Anyone working at Maginhawa? And then wala, labas
Mm.
diretso. I just bring my laptop and I'm always game to go on an adventure with friends.
Ay, maganda yan mga kabarkada. Na-discover din natin
Hmm.
na mas mabuti pa si Joshua Kim today mga kabarkada. Tingnan natin sa ating huli na challenge kung malalampasan to ni Joshua mga kabarkada. Ito,
Okay.
let's go. Where in the
Oh,
Philippines would you like to have your next vacation? Para doon ka na mag-work from vacation. Mga ganon.
yeah. Alone time,
Oh,
Oo.
pwede.
okay. I think Tagaytay. I love Tagaytay, just the cold air and just being able to walk around. I had some really really good samgyeopsal last time. Nakalimutan ko yung
When
name
was the
pero
last time you went to Tagaytay ba, Joshua? When was the last time?
parang last year pa yun eh.
Last year pa. Akala ko nga
Yeah.
last week lang or last month.
Hindi.
Okay. So, kailangan mo na talaga bumalik ng Tagaytay with that.
Yeah.
Last
Long
year pa yan.
overdue.
Oh, okay, asa sa ng layo-layo ng Tagaytay sa'yo. Kaya-kaya mo yan, Joshua. Parang
Nandiyan
biyahe-biyahe na
lang.
parang lesson na yan sa'yo na lumabas na ng bahay very soon kasi baka naka-work from home ka ng bonggang-bongga and you've been busy with creating music for us, Joshua. Kaya,
No.
Joshua, nalampasan mo ang ating Alone in the
Yes.
Philippines Challenge.
Thank
Hopefully,
you
you will
so
not be
much.
alone, a little bit better dito sa ating programa. Kasi
Kung gusto niyo
excited kami.
sumama sa
Oo,
Tagaytay.
sasama kami dun sa
Sure, why not?
Samyupsal.
Si
Yan.
Maki, babiyahe
Oo.
pa from Tacloban, pupunta yung Manila.
Makikikain lang kami mga kabarkada na Samyupsal. Pero syempre excited kami kasi yun nga, you've been talking about the EP na Alone in Melbourne, na more music collaboration in this. Paano ba natin ito masuportahan pa at panoorin at syempre pakinggan pa ang mga music ng EP na ito, Joshua? And invite our kamarkadas din na i-follow ka sa social media accounts mo. Go!
Oh, okay. So, if you want to hear more of my music, please follow me at Joshua Kim Music on all SOCMED. So it's at Joshua Kim, my name, and then the word music. I usually post to IG, Facebook. It's also the same for TikTok and X or
Mhm.
Twitter. Um, yeah, and if you want to hear my songs, please go to my YouTube channel on Spotify. Just type Joshua Kim, and I should be the result that comes up. Actually, so before, like years ago, I'd make a lot of music videos that I think
Mhm.
are really really good with my good friend Ethan. We would shoot a lot of videos. So yun, like one of my songs, Sincerely, has a stop motion music video. And talagang mahirap yun, like three people,
Mm.
it took them a few days, like non-stop, as in animating like by hand. So gumawa sila ng
Mm.
flowers, hands, and like it's beautiful. It's hard for me to describe it. So please look up Sincerely on
Mm.
YouTube by Joshua Kim. And yeah, check out my other music videos. I'd love to see you there.
There you go,
Mm.
Joshua. Maraming salamat. And of course, Pio, salamat. Gusto mong pasalamatan this morning. We'd like to greet your friends watching right now, your
Mm.
fans watching for Good Time Talk from our Facebook and their YouTube. This is the chance, Joshua. Patiin mo na sila.
Okay, I'd like to shout out to all my friends watching. I'd like to shout out to my family, even though I think they're not morning people. My mom, my dad, my titas watching. Um, yeah, to everyone that supported me. I'm not sure exactly who's watching right now. There's a bunch of people. Sam, Eliza, Jess, if you're watching. Michelle, thank you for tuning in. Kahit maaga. At yun, thanks so much, guys.
Oh, kaya maraming salamat din kina Bianca Nicole Rodriguez, Sir Denin, maraming salamat. Maraming salamat din kay Kamorkadas natin dito, Miss Aya Sirot, of course sa YouTube natin, Wena
Yeah.
May de los Santos. Maraming salamat
Sora
po, James
Kishimoto,
Bertan.
ayan, nanunood. Sina Ruby, maraming
Yeah.
salamat for
Oh, shout out to
Oh,
Teacher Jeng pala who's watching. She was my
Oh,
piano teacher. She taught me most of what I know. Hi, Teacher Jeng.
ang dami yung gustong matutunan ni Joshua for today. Gitara, piano, nagpo-programming, gumagawa ng kanta, kumakanta. Ano na, lahat na lang, Joshua, kaya-kaya mo yan. Lumalaban ka
yeah.
for today's video. Pero syempre, ang title ng show natin ay Good Time to. Ano ba para sa'yo, Joshua, ang isang good time?
Good time for me. Well, yeah, just being with friends, doing anything. Kahit lying around, doing nothing, binging TV shows. Basta kasama yung friends ko, good time na yun.
That's a good time for
Aba,
Joshua. Joshua Kim, thank you so much for joining us again here.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
We had such fun talking to
oo.
you ngayong August. Balik ka agad. Anytime you are welcome here, Joshua. So,
Oo, totoo yan.
thank
Kasi
you.
na-realize namin na being alone, mga kamarkada, is not a bad thing, but it's also a path to self-discovery and self-love para sa ating mga
Yeah.
kamarkada. So, hopefully, alone in Melbourne man kayo, alone in Tacloban, alone in Baguio, or alone anywhere in the world, ay hindi kayo nag-iisa in spirit and in your heart. Okay? Maraming salamat once again. We have Joshua Kim. Dito lang yan sa Good Time to. Thank you so
Joshua,
much.
thank you so much.
Thanks,
Ingat.
guys.
Fun. Mga kaworkada, maraming salamat. Joshua Kim, thank you so much. Ang ating Filipino-Korean singer-songwriter na kasama natin. Thank you, balik ka anytime. Sa ating mga kaworkadas, thank you rin sa inyong pagsama sa ating mga hindi pa natin nahabol na mga pabate. Hello sa Kalabianca Nicole, Joyce, thank you so much for joining us, Miss Joyce. And of course, Gerald, Kyle, Bodiao, Mary RJ Max, maraming salamat. Kina Aljon Cruz, kina Espenil, Lolita, thank you sa ating mga kamorkada. Baka may hahabol ka pa, Maki, ng mga pabati na ating mga kamorkada?
Oo, magpapasalamat tayo sa Kapamilya Nation, ABS-CBN Kapamilya Nation, Joyce Mamaril, maraming salamat Miss Joyce, Miss Saibel, thank you so much. Sa ating William Tabuhara, thank you so much. Kapamilya Channel, Facebook groups natin, sa Cebu na Facebook pages natin din, maraming salamat, ABS-CBN Kapamilya Nation, at sa lahat ng kamorkadas natin. At kung nag-enjoy kayo with Joshua Kim today, we'll be seeing you tomorrow naman kasama ang ating kapamilya na kasama natin bukas, Bong.
Oo, eto na nga mga kamorkada dahil may bago siyang single na kailangan yung abangan ako mga kamorkada. Alexa Lakad is back sa Good Time to. Live po natin siya makakasama tomorrow. Makakachikahan natin siya dahil pag-uusapan natin ang kanyang bagong single. Grabe, alam mo yung title pa lang nung kanta, hinahanap ko na dito, sobrang as in, di ba, hugot. Nahanap ko na yun, pero eto muna. Habang hinahanap ko yan, batiin muna yung mga kailangan batiin, kailangan ko ng extension. Gumaki.
Ayan. Siyempre, follow namin si Joshua Kim later, mga kabarkada, after today's video. Ayan, Sir Joshua.
Yes.
At syempre, makikichismis na kay Alexa Ilacan ano mangyayari sa PBB.
Oo nga, dahil nga as a host. Pero syempre, kung naging tayo, yan ang kanyang single na ating pag-uusapan tomorrow. Di ba? Magandang...
Kung naging tayo.
Magandang
Ano ba,
pag-usapan
pinapatabakan
yan.
talaga ako ng mga guest artist natin for this week. Oo naman, alone in Melbourne. Tapos ngayon, kapag naging tayo, sana all mga kabarkada. Kaya pagkita-kita tayo kasama si Alexa Ilacan tomorrow mga kabarkada sa Good Time to. See you tomorrow!
Hanggang bukas, sama-sama dito ng saya sa umaga dahil kwela at updated to.
Dahil bidang-bida ka dito!
Lagi-lagi ito ang Good Time to. Bye, guys!
See you tomorrow!
Oras na mga Morgana para basahin pa yung mga humahabol niyong reaksyon. Hinggil dito sa kwento natin.
I can simply offer favorite songs in Beautiful Morning. At sa lahat ating mga madlang people, daming salamat for always staying tuned dito sa MOR.
And to all those who are listening and out pa sa ilang trabahoan, pati pagyapon sa work. Good evening po.
Okay, sorry mga Morgana, magandang umaga mga nakikinig sa atin. Morgana! Naku, ito ang aking inaabangan.
Ilabas na lahat ng feels! Dahil hashtag good time feels tayo.
Bakit?